Hey collective, welcome to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Coach Liz. All right, y'all, we're going to tap into the next 72 hours. Let's see what your person is currently feeling towards you and what's to come in the next 72 hours. Remember, y'all, this is a general reading, so if it does not resonate, don't force a shoe to fit. There'll be more readings to come. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Thank y'all so much for the support, for joining the team. Okay, Taurus, I'm picking up on Taurus energy, as well as changes. I don't know, there's changes in someone's values or the way they were believed in relationships or commitment. I feel like something about y'all's connection tested this person's values or their beliefs. They understand that there's this soul contract between you and them. And if there's a separation here, it does feel like there is a separation here. Maybe there's little to no contact, but because I am seeing a reconciliation after this person decides to confess what they're truly feeling or confess their emotions. But it's like they had to get past their own, like I said, their own limiting beliefs. It feels like this person, again, was very non-committal. They were driven by lust, and I feel like the intensity between you and this person could have added a layer of distraction, right? Because there's something about them being extremely attracted to you and your energy. Like the connection that y'all share, their physical connection that y'all share, could have overpowered this connection. But it does feel like this was also what they were used to, right? Because it does feel like they were non-committal. They were used to connecting with individuals on a superficial level, so it could have just been lust-driven situations. But again, with you, as much as they try to keep this connection on the superficial, nothing, not letting it get too deep, it's like now they're going back and forth with their own decisions and their own beliefs and their own, their own values. It's like they're breaking their own rules, or they're going back and forth about breaking their own rules. If not, they know that they have to say goodbye to you forever, right? They know that they can't have you if they're not willing to allow themselves to go, deeper. I feel like the next 72 hours, your person, I feel like they're awakening to this energy or this connection that y'all share, that it does go beyond the superficial, and they're coming back to apologize because they want a second chance. I feel like they're tired of pretending. They're tired of acting like this doesn't, like it doesn't hurt them. Like it doesn't leave not being able to communicate or have, be consistently in connection or in communication with you. I'm struggling with my words. So maybe they're trying to find the words so that they can express how they truly feel because they're exhausted. The divine masculine is tired of, repressing or suppressing their emotions, right? Not telling the truth. For some of you, I feel like this person could have said some things or done some things that they truly regret, especially if they allowed other people or third parties to get in between y'all's connection or relationship, because now they're left with memories of you two, the good times that y'all had. You definitely left an imprint on this person, but they let their pride and their ego get in the way. So I feel like this weekend, the next 72 hours, this person is going to really see, clearly that it's, they have to make a choice. They either have to show up expressing the truth. They're expressing their emotions, their feelings, and also direction, because it does feel like at this point, collective, you're like, okay, you can express your feelings all you want, but what are we going to do about it, right? Like, what's the next course of action? I feel like you're What's the next course of action with the Chariot energy showing up? Cancer could be significant. Cancer can be watching you. A Cancer. Okay. Well, what else? The next 72 hours for the collective. Yeah, Four of Swords. This person is really stuck in their head. For some of you, they're, like I said, they're exhausted, they're tired, they're fatigued. They could be fighting, for some of you, they're tired of fighting themselves. Like this person could have been like arrogant, just stubborn, and they're like sick of their own shit at this point. So much so that they could even be ill, right? They could be experiencing headaches, or I'm hearing dizziness as well. Somebody could just be overworking, like trying to do too much. Like I said, somebody could be experiencing some sort of betrayal or backstab, something about that when it comes to their money or their finances. Or there can because they've been treating the divine feminine like this, somebody could be experiencing how can I put it, like somebody's finances could be suffering because of how they've been treating a situation with you. And I know that sounds crazy, but you don't know how karma comes cause and effect. The energy you're putting out is the energy that you're getting back. And I don't know if this person is stressing out because of money or what, but it just feels like maybe whenever when they experienced a difficult period, they will always come to you, and they would gain certain, I'm hearing, knowledge or insight from you, and then they would just go and disappear, right? It's like they will come and take certain energy from you. You gave them the confidence to keep pushing forward, but then they left you tired and drained and wondering, like, okay, so what are we doing? Where's this connection going? What is the direction of this, this that we have? Some of you, this person who has been trying to heal their, something about their heart chakra, like they've been doing a lot of releasing, but possibly doing a lot of like crying. Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. So somebody, and I said something about the heart chakra, and you see how they're holding something really close to their chest. So it's like someone, instead of expressing how they felt, right, they wore this mask. They again suppressed, or they withheld how they truly felt, like how their emotions. And this was because either for a fear or overthinking a situation, whether or not they should take action towards y'all's connection. It just seems like, I don't know, something about your vulnerability or your gracefulness, the way your beauty could have intimidated this person, right? They were so used to superficial connections or relationships that when you came along, it was like, well, shit, like, what do I do with this? How do I handle this? And it's like, the whole time you're just like, you just got to handle me with care, with love, compassion, like you would handle any other luxurious item, handle me with care. And I feel like that's part of the reason why they withdrew or they pulled away to focus on themselves, is because they realized like they've never experienced someone like you. So it's like they didn't know how it is to treat you. They didn't want to let you down. They didn't want to disappoint you. But this whole time, instead of them communicating that, right, it's like they would get stuck in their thoughts, overthinking, wondering if they were enough, if they, if you saw them valuable enough. For some of you, maybe they felt like they weren't worthy or of you or your energy. It's like they didn't see what you were seeing. And like I said, maybe every time they come and talk to you, it's like you would either pour into their soul or say certain things that would, fill them up, if, boost their ego, but then they would leave you feeling like empty, because they weren't pouring back. They were just taking. And at some point, it does feel like you collective, set some sort of boundaries. You close the cycle out with this person. For some of you, you decided to say your goodbyes, or maybe that's what you're doing this weekend. Yeah, look, the next 72 hours, I feel like for some of you, you're deciding to close some cycle out and deciding to, emotionally detach from the situation. I feel like there's lessons learned, completion. But I feel like the moment that you decide to close or say your goodbyes, I feel like they're rushing in. Somebody's wanting to rush in and have some sort of conversation with you. Look, unexpected message. It does feel like someone's going to say something right in the nick of time. Because they know that they're running out of time. They know that they've delayed this shit enough or long enough. They've been holding back. They've been procrastinating. Ace of Wands, because of something that happened in the past with the Six of Cups. Maybe something that they experienced in their childhood. You triggered something with this person's inner child, something that triggered their heart chakra. It's almost like you were able to get close enough to this person where you created some sort of safe space. It's like you opened their heart, but it scared them at the same time. Like, I've never felt this before, but I also like how it feels. But I heard that when people feel like this, they end up getting hurt. Or I know someone that experienced this and they ended up getting hurt. And it's like they're comparing themselves to those situations or those stories or experiences that have nothing to do with you or this person or now in the present moment. So they're allowing their pride and their ego to get in the way. What else? The next 72 hours, they could be trying, they're trying to act like everything is fine. Like they're okay with something ending. For some of you, you triggered this person so much that things that they had, it feels like things that they had already, they thought they had the closure on, right? If they had already experienced like heartbreak in the past, maybe in their younger years, or if they experienced neglect or abandonment in some way, shape, or form, lies, cheating, deceit, things like that, right? Because I do see that here, that something was very painful. But it almost feels like this person never really truly healed from it. So something that you said, something that you did triggered this person's wounds because either they thought they had already like healed through them, had their closures, said their goodbyes, but it's like they didn't, right? They went through life acting like, everything was fine. Like those wounds were no longer there, right? But it just feels like maybe they were just brushed under the rug instead of actually being worked through and faced head on. Yeah, here they come with the apology though. There's definitely someone coming in with an apology. The sun at the bottom of the deck. It's like they want to provide clarity. It does feel like in the next 72 hours, someone is having some sort of awakening or clarity. They are seeing. It's like they're accepting. I'm hearing acceptance and release. Like they're finally releasing the things that kept them bound because they're seeing how third party situations or dark attachments, things that they kept themselves bound to. For some of you, this was just a past experience. Like I said, it doesn't even feel like it could have been people, third party situations where there were other people trying to get involved, which it could be, but this feels more so like something that happened during their younger years or like their childhood, right? Or maybe early dating, when they start, because the Knight of Cups is someone that has had some sort of experience in romantic relationships, right? They've gone through their bit of drama and hurt, and that's why it makes them a knight, because they're a little bit more intentional with how they express their love or how they offer love. They're not as innocent as the page, but they're still open for a relationship. They're just a bit more cautious. I almost wanted to say guarded. So this person was guarded at some point, and that was because, like, again, there was some healing that they had to do with the sun energy. Like I said, in the next 72 hours, this person's they're awakening. They're realizing what parts of them they need to purge. They need to release. They need to let go of. They're no longer in denial. They're no longer acting like everything is fine. For some of you, they could even I did hear like counseling, that somebody could be getting some sort of counseling, because with the sun it does give like deep healing, right? Like to the point where someone is going back to their inner child, because there's children here. So it does feel like someone is going, doing some deep purging and releasing. I fucking like this. Leo energy is here. Capricorn as well. Heavy on Leo and Capricorn. What else? The next 72 hours for the collective. What is the masculine energy showing up? Ace of Swords. Everything I've been saying is the truth. Someone's seeing truth and clarity. Someone's coming, being honest. I mean, y'all, there's a lot of clarity happening, whether it's within them, something that they're realizing about themselves, or something that they're wanting to come and bring you, right? Truth and clarity. Like all the three of these cards talk about truth and clarity. And I feel like that's exactly what you've been asking from this person, because I see where they've been trying to hide or pretend or suppress or delay, or, like I said, hold something close to their heart, something that left them hurt. There's something left an imprint, right? Look, Tower at the bottom of the deck. So there was something that happened in this person's life that shook them to the core, right? Especially when it comes to commitment. There was something, a past love or a past situation that, like I said, left an imprint, left possibly a bad taste in their mouth when it came to love. It left them feeling tired and exhausted. Almost to the point where when you came along, it's like they didn't even want to, compromise or negotiate with you. They were so, I'm hearing, strict, It's like they had I'm hearing stick to the program. And if it does feel like there was this masculine, maybe too much of a masculine energy, because I am getting that with the sun and the Leo here. A lot of masculine energy. So it just feels like maybe too much, like I'm hearing toxic masculinity. Look, King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Look, exactly. Too much. Almost too controlling, too strict, too stern, too cold, too aloof, too nonchalant, like detached. All to keep and maintain control, a false sense of control. And I feel like that's what this person is realizing, that, it doesn't have to be one way. There's different ways of doing things. There's different ways of approaching things. And that the control that they're trying to maintain is out of fear and not out of, it's out of fear. Something very masculine. Here's some more masculine energy. Maybe there was a father wound that needed to be healed within this person. Maybe someone was afraid that I was picking up on the good enough, right? Like, I don't know if someone felt like they could step into a role of like husband or father, because the Emperor is husband and father, right? Father material, husband material. This is someone that runs an empire, right? This is someone that is able to handle it pretty much all, cool, calm, and collected. And this masculine, you can see this person is like stressing out about something. So it does feel like maybe they were stressing out at, the fact that they didn't know if they could meet your expectations, if they can give you what they know and you deserve. But I feel like with the Ace of Swords, this masculine, like I said, they're coming in to provide some sort of clarity, because now they have the clarity. They had to tap in to their maybe divine feminine energy with the High Priestess, Pisces energy, Aries with the Emperor. Maybe they had to tap into their own um, divine feminine energy, so that, bring that, I'm hearing ego death. They had to swallow their pride, get past their own, like I said, beliefs and limitations. What's negotiator? What are they trying to negotiate? What's this negotiator? This person could do business, or they could have a business. Can I just have one? Six of Wands, Justice, and the Ace of Cups wanted to pop out. But let's see. What is this negotiator? Okay. Geez, that's too much. Five of Swords, Three of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Ace of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. Somebody could be doing some sort of like there's like business here. There's career or business. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, negotiator. Someone could be dealing with like negotiations when it comes to business or career. I'm gonna put them back because there's too many. But this also feels like there's arguments or conflict here when it comes to that. The negotiation. Super side note, but hey, there it is. That's for somebody. But can we focus on this negotiator next 72 hours for the collective, the person feelings towards them? Okay, King of Wands. Okay, for some of you, I'm just in the Two of Wands. You might have to make a decision between two people. Or there's like someone trying to negotiate with you, like they want to take action towards you. So it could be this person, because there's that ego, there's that Leo energy again. So it's like they want to take action towards you, but they're still like going back and forth about it. They're indecisive. The King of Wands, like I feel like, and it's because they're fear. They're in fear that you're gonna reject them. They're in fear that you're gonna say no. They're in fear that you're gonna look at them and like, yeah, you're a waste of my time. But they're planning though. It's like they're trying to come up with like some sort of plan, or a plan of action, so they can come in and offer this apology. Especially because they feel like they said things that they knew that they shouldn't have, or they're regretting. They said things out of anger. They said things out of, bitterness towards something that they experienced in their past. Something that was not, like, it's like they took something out on you that had nothing to do with you, right? So that's why they're wanting to come back and make amends or plans. Someone's being very strategic. Look, I love this. The Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles and the Temperance. Okay, collective. Gemini with the energy with the Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles. It's like someone now understands like there's this soul contract, or there's this spiritual union between you two with the Lovers energy. And then with the Ten of Pentacles, it's like they're also realizing that they can have this happily ever after with you. So it's not happily ever after and financial stability, right? Generational wealth. So there is like, they are seeing the potential of y'all's connection. It's not just love. It's not just excuse me, it's not just chemistry, it's not lust, although it is, and that maybe that's why, ooh, my arm, and maybe that's why they kind of like got a little scared, or fear set in, because the connection between the two of y'all, it was like intense, right? It was too much for them, to the point where they had to take a step back and really see, like, is this more than just physical? And I feel like they're starting to realize, or this week, in the next 72 hours, they realize that it's not just lust, it's not just passion, that they could actually build something long term, something, I heard consistent, like something like generational wealth, something that can go for years, long term. Look, and vows is showing up right here. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, this person is really considering commitment. They are. I do see where they're going back and forth about it. Look at the Two of Cups. Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. But I feel like they're being divinely guided. I feel like this connection, or this partnership, was divinely guided. Like, y'all were meant to come together in divine timing. There were certain lessons that had to be learned. This person had to learn their lessons. You had to learn your lessons. And I do feel like there's some sort of partnership coming together with the Two of Cups. And the delays feel like they're over and the ships are coming in. Okay, travel could be significant as well. Okay. I mean, y'all gonna have to let me know in the comments. Let me know what type of clarity this person comes into, because I do see where they had you confused and wondering what the hell's going on. But I do feel, like I said, this person is coming in with truth, and clarity that helps things move forward. So, all right. I hope this message gave you a little bit of clarity too. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Thank y'all so much again for the support, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.